This is Chris Leo, one part of the Black Super Friends podcast. And on a serious note, we're maybe on the brink of war. And in war, we evacuate the women and children first. And you know why we do that? So the men can come up with a plan in peace and quiet. Thank you.
Hey, good evening. I'm your host tonight, the Horace Towns, also known as Erawapo. Tonight, you will be joined by my three best friends that will consist of the monopoly that we call the Black Super Friends podcast. We're international, and I'd just like to open up this show this month. After the world news, this was Black History Month. You know how I know? I feel like I just paid rent yesterday and it's back again. So Black History Month is upon us. The shortest month in the whole calendar is Black History Month. But I won't go militant tonight. I will just say welcome to another episode of the Black Super Friends. Let me introduce our illustrious cast. First, I'm going to the person that is adorning the Black History Month logo behind him. I don't know how militant he will be tonight. He has on the Muhammad Ali t-shirt. So if anybody's gonna be black tonight, Chris Leo is black.
Oh, thank you, thank you. In the words of CB4, I'm black, black, bliggity, black, black, black tonight. Thank you for joining us. Happy last day of Black History Month.
Okay. And I will say, I want to say pre-mortgage day for most of the people around the country. Next, I am going to the man who wears the hottest apparel in these podcast streets. His name tonight, you will know him as Super Mario Senior.
Please say the
Greetings and salutations, yeah, man. We happy to be back. It's the last day of Black History Month. I agree with Horace. It seems like this the month that it keeps on giving. You pay rent on the first and right back again. Back at it.
Yeah. All right. Last but not least, I'm going to the whippersnapper at the top. You will know him as Zay, the ladies' man, as he wears the gold African medallion, hat to the back. Xavier, please speak to the audience.
Yeah, don't worry. He's the blackest member of the Black Super Friends podcast, celebrating this Black History Month, even though it's the shortest month of the year. How y'all doing? Greetings, like my brother says, salutations, and good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yeah, you definitely need some lighting back there, Zabo.
Ah,
Hey.
No whatsoever. I'm cool, just like the shade. I'm gonna stay here.
Okay. Well, listen, guys. First off, it's Black History Month, man, and we're gonna have a good show. It's gonna be the world news from our views, and I can't wait to kind of have this conversation tonight. But before we go there, I want to talk to Gonzarelli. Uh, every year around this time, we do the memes, we do the tax jokes, and we talk about taxes and whatnot. And we be overly concerned about how people spend their tax money. And people been getting mad. They've been getting offended. Some people are like, why? Why start that conversation? Why you care about what they do with their taxes? Before I go to Zay, man, I'm gonna go to about two parties. Ask them what y'all think about that. Cause to be honest, it is kind of almost like redundant. Like I know when this person get their taxes, they are going to go. They're gonna go Players Club for 30 days. We're gonna do the most. We're gonna do all the stereotypical stuff, and it don't pan out for everybody. But I'll go to Chris Leo first. Any words?
yeah. I mean, for me personally, I don't understand why we concern ourselves so much with other people's, money. And so I just never understood that. I hate the memes where we try to tell people what to do and down people for, doing things that probably not the most fiscally responsible thing. But at the end of the day, you got to understand that certain people don't get to celebrate life, the pleasures of life. So if this is the time that they do it, it's fine. It's their money. What I hate the most is all these women encouraging other women not to break off men for with any tax money. I mean, stop all that dry snitching, stop all that player hating. Whatever that woman want to do with her money, let that woman do with that woman do with her money. But furthermore than that, like, goddamn, we work too, so we expecting a income tax check the same way. So we don't have to sleep with unattractive fat women just to get a tax return. We work just like they do. So, but yeah, I think we all need to somewhat. Why did the Chris? Thank you. I think we all need to mind our business on when it comes to tax season. But what I really would like, and I hope Zay, you can help me with this one. I believe that one parent should not get full income tax credit for the child. A lot of these guys is on child support. A lot of fathers, they pay for their kid without child support. So I think that it should be a new tax law where we split that down the middle, because I'm a person that in 13 years I have never received a penny of income tax for my child. So you take that how you want to, but there we go. That's what I got. Turn your mic.
You are a professional.
Super Mario Senior, please say the senior.
I agree with Chris to a certain degree, but then I see it's like in the risk of being hypocritical. You always got to say this. Like I'm saying, if to take that stance, that means I should never hear you say black people should rally, because most people, when they telling people what to do with their money, is because the other 11 months a year they hearing them cry about black people don't have this, black people don't have this, the taxes going up, the gas going up, they ain't got this, we ain't got this. But there's a chance when you get your tax money, it's a big lump sum for you to invest to change the narrative and to change the direction in which your life is going. But people see fit to go party when it's not party time. And I think in the black community, I think that's why other people who have made that sacrifice get tired of hearing complaining, whining, and all the other shit all year round. And then you get your money, and then you go do the same thing you did last year. And then the next month you be like, yeah, man, this job killing me, man. You know, if I just had this, or your tires ball, or you this and this. Nah, bro, at some point you got to break that trend. And that's why black people still spend 1 trillion or whatever the number is, dollars, and we still don't have nothing. We the lowest in ownership. We the lowest in everything. Because all it takes is 2 or 3 tax times to come around and a couple side jobs, and then you got your down payment for a house. You pay off your car. You pay off your student loans. But we don't do that because I agree with Chris. Most people take that approach like, I've been working hard all year. This is the time when I go get them Jordan 11s crystal balls. And I go to the club, I buy the biggest bottle, and I just let it hang and let everybody see. Like, we don't know that's tax money, and next month you're going to be outside in the cold line. So that's why I think people do it. And then the other people, it just hate.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I agree with the fact that don't complain after. Do whatever you want to, but don't complain after.
All right. Well, I will only say this before I go to Zeta Ladies, man. My issue when I was coming up, man, one issue I did have, I didn't understand how I was the person that was providing 100% and I couldn't claim my kid. I never understood that. And, I had to go to court to even get a petition to say, hey, I can claim them 1 year and we rotate. And I was like, you can see fiscally that I pay for 100% of everything and beyond, and I don't get a chance to claim my child, which would have helped me because oftentimes, I remember 2 times because of how that system is rigged, I was in the rears. They could have took my tax return and I would have been good. But nah, the state don't play fair, man. But to Mario's point, I will say this. We have more blacks in America. Our spending power is more than I forgot how many countries, the most countries around this world. So we'll talk about that later on tonight. But America's about money. And if we ever pulled our money and actually start using that power, man, we'd be invincible. So that's why I laugh, because that's actually what the gay community did. They took their money and they created their own thing. But hey, Zay the Ladies, man, we about to go on a rant, but honestly, we just wanted you to tell us, give us a tax tip. You the tax man. No people
Oh
coming.
man. Well, you guys said a lot of key things, and a lot of it was important. I actually, in this season, I actually bridle my mouth because it's unprofessional. I have jokes, I have memes. I just don't put them out there because it may seem as if I'm being judgmental, and I don't want to do that or scare away my clientele. But Mario, I will say this: I have a shirt for you on the spot for you here at Team Fire Infinity Taxes because exactly what you said is exactly what we try to share with the individuals who come and get their taxes done with us. Do they listen? That's another story. But we do try to tell them if they pool their resources or take this kind of a bonus check for the year, you can coast the rest of the year or at least pad your pocket. But it don't usually go that way. It usually ends with them standing up on top of chairs, eating at the finest of restaurants, the best hair, silky, yak, minky, whatever y'all call it, whatever the latest is, they got that. And like you said, them crystal ball Jordan 11s. And to my young brother, Mr. Christopher and young Horace, you guys make sense, but it'll never happen. You ain't gonna see none of that money.
Because
Because
of
of
the
who?
patriarchy. That's what it is. We have made it. That's why I can't wait till women take over. I know they're gonna balance this out.
Oh no. Of course they're not. They're gonna balance their books, not yours. Trust me, I've seen it. I'm in the same scenario with you, Horace. Every other year, I get to claim my daughter, but every year I get to pay for her. Don't worry about it. You know, I make it make sense. I don't know. But anyway, I'm just non-judgmental.
Well, I tell you this, Chris, I had a long way of 20 years of not seeing a red cent.
Not a
Oh,
Yeah.
So understand. I understand it. Welcome to 7 more years.
I'm up 13, so I know.
Yeah.
I know exactly what
Unless you go down there and do something about it, yeah, you're gonna have 7 more. And
No,
she's
she
probably
can have
not gonna
it.
grease your
Look,
palm at
at the end
all.
of the day, she can have that. If that's
I
what
was
helped
about
my
to say.
child, if that's what helped my child, if that would make this thing smoother, and I ain't on child support, you can take that. I ain't.
It's
tripping.
gonna help you too. If you don't even
Yes, it
think
will.
about it,
Zay. Yes, it will. But at the end
nah.
of the day, it keeps me. If that keeps me off child support, and if it helps my child, you can have it. I got my own tax money. I work.
How about
that
to say?
sounds
So
good.
yeah, you
Listen,
just won't get the bands.
Yeah,
bro.
right.
This, I don't want to turn into a baby mama show, but I was y'all example of do not do for a long time, boy. I tell you, I fell on my knees and cursed the sky a lot of times, man. But listen, it just ain't right,
I
boy.
will tell you this though. As a tax tip, I'm gonna say this: have a plan for your money. If for nothing else, you understand what I'm saying. And I say this so many times as I prepare tax returns for individuals. I just asked the question. I put it in the air. You know, when this money comes, do you have a plan in place? You know, what is it that you see fit that you can invest in that this money can return so that it does wonders for not just you but your kids? And I think that's the tip outside of trying to tell some of y'all to let them people take the proper amount of taxes out of your paycheck throughout the year so you don't have to be in my office or any other local tax preparer's office arguing with them about why something ain't right. I'm never going to argue with you about what you do with the money when you get it. Don't argue with me about my fee. That's another tip for you. If you listen. Don't argue with me about my fee or any other preparer for that matter. But definitely have some type of play in place that you can multiply your fruit. That's what I got for y'all on taxes and tips.
All right. Zay, you used to do annuities before we go to the next thing. I would give somebody a tip of this. If you have a big family, pay your life insurance policy for the year.
For a year.
He said he gonna give him a
That's
tip.
a no-brainer. Yeah. That's a no-brainer. Matter of fact, it would do you well to get life insurance on everybody. There's the pandemic, people, COVID. People are dying left and right. The people that died, they never died before, in the words of Horace. Ever. You feel me? Get some life insurance on them while they're young, while they're still healthy, and while it's cheap. I'm quite sure you might be crying, but you're gonna be counting money out the other eye. and hopefully that money, saves your family in the long run. Hopefully
Under $500, you
It's
can
just
cover your family for the year. But I say smart stuff sometimes. Hey, all right, listen. This is what I'm loving. All right, this is what I'm liking. It's Black History Month. I want to know, you guys, what's the best Black history fact or best did you know that you guys can present to the people out there? Who want to go first? I'm going to Chris Leo. You Black tonight.
Okay.
All right.
Carter Woodson. Remember that name. He
Love
is responsible for Black history. In 1926, he started on the second week of February. He started Negro Week, Negro History Week. Negro History Week started from the celebration of Lincoln's birthday on the 12th of February and Frederick Douglass' birthday on the 14th of February. We know Lincoln is synonymous with the emancipation of the slaves, not the freeing the emancipation, and Frederick Douglass, who led in all things Black. There was a celebration for them. Negro Week started the birth of Black History Week, which started at Kent State February 1969, and the year later, 1970, it became celebrated throughout the month. President Gerald Ford is the one who basically made it so it's holiday, a national holiday. He decided that it was a good thing for us to recognize the accomplishments and just the participation of Black people in our country, in the United States. So shout out to Gerald Ford, and that is how Black history began. Shout out to Carter Woodson, Dr. Carter Woodson.
Oh man, you know what, Chris? I kind of have a thing about it. I thought you were going to mention your auntie, who, out of all the famous people in this world, that was probably one of the realest. That's one of my favorite people. You know why? Because she was about it. She did not talk it. The stuff she said, people don't even have the guts to say, hey, listen, your auntie, Miss Hamer, my favorite.
Shout out to Fannie Lou Hamer.
Listen, she was about that, boy. Y'all, please go research her. Let the kids know. Like, she was real. She was real. Even her speeches will get you hyped. All right, so go to my Super Mario.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go to. You're not gonna be ready for this one, but his name is Barnyard Rustin. And you may ask who that is. Well, I'm gonna tell you. See, Dr. King is usually accredited for the March on Washington in August of 1963, right? But Brother Russian, who organized and strategized the entire event, was over. They brought in Martin Luther King because he was a Black gay man. Mm-hmm. Too controversial, and it was feared that the Black population would not follow him, and the march would be a not success. Nevertheless, he was brilliant, PhD, all heavily qualified, and did all the groundwork. So as I'm reading this, I'm saying that he completely set up the march, pinpointed Dr. Martin Luther King and them, and put them in the different areas to raise up and rile up the crowds, and then strategically bust and made sure everybody get there. He did every single thing, and then even promoted into the smaller churches around the place that couldn't, because there was no TV, about Martin Luther King coming to speak at the march. He set out different ministers who had uproars and reached out to every city to bring everybody in. So he single-handedly set up that entire march, and then Martin Luther King spoke on it. And reading this, I never knew it, but he had his hand in quite a few things, like around. And he was openly gay, Black man that was in the church, and people just didn't let him be the forefront because he was openly gay then. And I never knew that because he held such a prestigious job. And then you hear about everybody else in the Black movement, and I never heard of him. And now I see why. But when you look at him, you're like, man, this man did this. He did this. Like, he did so much. And then when it comes to implementing the institution of learning into the Black community, he was pivotal in that too. and in the freedom walks. I'm like, this man, it was everywhere. And the biggest thing about it is he said he would not stand in the way of progress because of him. And I wish more black people of all sorts would take that up. Like, you don't have to, no matter what you feel or what you represent or what you got your agenda to be, we as a people have to keep moving forward. And if that means you taking a step back for the progress of us to go forward, then that means you're a bigger contributor than you think you are. So salute to Barnyard Rustin. He lived from 1912 to 1987, man. We appreciate you, brother, because a lot of people would made sure their names ringed a little louder in the history book, but to you, the satisfaction came in seeing black people move forward. So shout out to Mr. Rustin.
Zay, mine is big, so I'm gonna let you go first.
That's you nasty motherfucker.
Yeah, we didn't need to know that. That was it, man.
God.
But it's so much that we've done as a people. I couldn't pinpoint it. I'll be honest to you. I lacked on the research to come up with one particular person. So I'm just gonna shout out all of us black people. You can shake your head all you want, but I think that if more people took just an account of us and what we've done as a whole, as a people, we could move better and move forward. But that is my Black History lesson for my black ass. Go ahead, Mr. Islam.
What did you do some research, dog?
Nigga said one time for the black
No.
He wanted you to do some research, dog.
No.
Nigga said one time for all us blacks.
All of us good.
All of us good.
I root for everybody.
Yeah.
You better know it.
All you had to do was Google.
One time for the one time.
10 minutes before the show. All you had to do.
I ain't doing it. If I'm going to put my all into it, I'm going to go all in it, and I didn't, damn it. So for all of the black people who have contributed to our race and to history.
What's up, black people? Mia. He ain't had no good show tonight because they couldn't do one piece of homework. You wait till we get the Irish Shears. I'm going to say I'm going to cheat something here. All right, guys. Serious moment. Exhale. This will be quick, but it will be impactful. So when I was growing up as a kid, I used to always sit around the bottom of the couch where my grandma sat, Maud Bolden, who lived to be like 105. Right? She cut the yard till she was 99, but my family's Mississippi Indian. So when I went to school, all they would tell us about slave ships and slavery, right? And my grandma would be like, foolishness. And I always remember that. And I remember one time when I was in school, my grandma said, we ain't come on no slave ships. And this lady was hell-bent on letting me know I came on a slave ship. And I just thought that was interesting. So when I went on this whole path to being woke and enlightening myself, I found out what my grandma was saying was true. I learned about Mansa Musa, and what people just find out about, but they don't know that Mansa Musa, he came to the scene because of his brother. His brother went on a voyage and went missing. What they won't tell you is his brother, Africans were coming to America forever. Everybody else didn't know how to come to America because they were going down the wrong way. You had to take the straight or whatever, and then you come across. But they didn't know how to do it. Most were lost at sea. I said all that to say that I'm going to give you the books to research this. When Columbus, no matter who came to America, the first thing they saw was black people. Indians, black Indians. We have already been here. We're here forever. Now, the thing that bothered me was in every book they described us. No matter where you went from California, no matter where, they seen us. Now, the thing which will bother me today is for the longest, I have been watching stuff that I know to be true. When I Google it, I can't hardly find it no more. But I promise you this week, I give you $100 if I don't do it. I think it was either 1719 or 1830. Because America was killing off all the Indians and they promised that they were going to give them land and they knew they had to compensate them, there was a law where they changed where every dark colored Indian was then all of a sudden classified as black. Why would they do that? One, they don't have to pay what they were supposed to pay. Colorism is at fact. Colorism is at play. But that always changed my life to know that we have been here. We are the native people of this. Like black colorism has always been in effect. So at some point, most of you are Native American. Whether the tribe, I don't know, but I know we're Mississippi Indian. I took my oldest son to the land probably like a year ago to where the reservation was and all that stuff. But this government, go Google it, research it, because I couldn't find it today to be exact. I actually found the piece that I'm going to share with the guys. But yes, they classified us. Just one day said, if you're black, you're a Negro. If you're black, you're black. Despite you being a Native American Indian, whether you was Blackfoot, Cherokee, Seminole, they changed it. So when you talk about black history, it's amazing to me because America, we were here before America.
Yeah.
That's my black history. Did you know?
Yeah. And I agree with you because shit, I always get confused for Indian with my good hair.
Yeah.
But I will say this. If you look at those Aztec statues, those big statues, those statues have wide nose. Those statues have knotty hair. Those statues resemble black people. That's why with the and I know I'm going on a tangent, but that's why when that Joe Rogan shit came out and he said looked like he walked into the planet of apes. I don't understand why we're ever associated with apes. Apes do not have full lips. They have really thin lips. Apes do not have knotty hair. They have really straight hair. So I just don't have protruding ears. We don't have none of those features match us, but we get associated with monkeys and apes and stuff like that. So I don't even know that.
It's because, Chris, from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So most of the time when a person who's lying tells you you're lying, it's because they know that they're lying. So if a person tells you that they look like a monkey, it's probably because they feel like they look like a monkey. I don't know. Could be wrong, but it's what I noticed.
Hey, another black history fact before y'all go on is the House passed the anti-lynching law today. Only thing is though, I think the mandatory, don't correct me, when I was reading it, I didn't get to read all of it when I was doing my research, but I think you get up to 30 years. I would rather say life for lynching somebody, but you can get 30 years. So I don't know how I feel about that part, but at least it is a federal hate crime. It took them long enough.
Bruh, I actually had somebody argue with me about that, and I was like, I challenge you to do it. But one thing I do say, I got this book sheet for references. Bro, a lot of stuff, they changing history every day, bro. Like, bro, if you don't got no book, it's like they deleting stuff that's true. So when you laugh and say, oh, my grandma was Indian, oh, my granddad, oh, yes. If you look at colorism, it's been in play for a long time. The last African king or queen died in the 1600s. We have ruled this planet forever, man. But I really want us to start digging deep. I don't want nobody to tell me what my history is when it's so easy for me to go and dig and be like, that's not true. Because we have been mistaught. So I don't even know why we trust the information that we given. Because hell, when they do the fact checking, we just find out even that's false. Yes, Chris Leo.
While we at it, I want to give a big shout out to the the lady that Biden chose. I think her name, I might not be able to spell it correctly. Tanja Brown Jackson. Give a big shout out to her. I don't know
I will not.
History Month. Why not?
I will not. They got us again. Listen, salute to her for getting that appointment, but we're gonna have a show about that as well. So, yeah, it's like, I gave you something that looked like something, but so I'm ready to have that fight with the sisters. So y'all are Black Girl Magic. That Black Girl Magic got some. She traded in her magic.
He in it. They disappeared.
Really violent.
I said.
Okay. Well, listen.
I mean, the last time they showed us Black Girl Magic, she disappeared. That was voila. I ain't seen the nigga.
Black History Month, fellas.
Yes. I
love them. Queens, all right. They are.
All right. Well, listen, I want to give a shout out. It's election time in Riviera Beach. What's the state of the only Black ran city by the ocean? I got a chance to go to the mic last week and piss everybody off, and I got a chance to interview some of the people in our community that were running for office, giving them a chance to actually talk about what's going on. Like, what's your plans? How are you going to do it? Because a lot of times people just say I'm running and they run and they don't have the competency to actually perform the job, but they got their family know them or the pastor say whatever, and then we don't never go too far. So that was on the topic list, man. I interviewed Doug. I interviewed Marvelous Washington. I had an interview with the mayor, Felder. I had an interview with his opposition, Miss Stringer, and the rest of the people did not qualify or did not make the necessary whatever, check in. So Zay, I can't hear you.
I said the cut. They didn't make the cut. I got
They
you.
didn't make the cut. So man, y'all ain't in the city no more, but what's y'all thoughts about Riviera Beach and the politics? Yeah, Mario in Atlanta, Chris, your roots are here, but you're in Orlando.
Well, when I was thinking about that, first of all, I want to give a big shout out to you, for doing that, and I appreciate that you use the Black Super Friend podcast platform to do so, man. We talk about trying to make a difference, and I think that by you doing that, giving the city, a face to look at these candidates and interview them and ask tough questions. Like I witnessed a lot of those interviews, and I think you asked tough questions. I don't think it was unbiased because I think I knew. I think we all know who you was gonna vote for, but you still held really, really great interviews, and I think that I appreciate that you use our platform to do so. We want to. That's something that we want to be a part of, trying to make a difference. Now, as far as Rivera, man, honestly, like you said, I no longer live there. I do have roots there, but when I did the calculations, I have lived outside of Rivera more than I've lived in Rivera at this point in my life. But I still do care. So, I had the pleasure of meeting the mayor, Ronnie Rutherfielder, and he got my support, although I can't vote. Doug Lawson, he has my support, although I can't vote. Marvelous Washington. I went to, I didn't go to school with her, but we was I knew of her growing up. So I just think that it's a good thing that we shedding a light on all these candidates, and I think that I'm just proud that we're being able to bring it to you. That's what I think.
I appreciate it. That's the goal. That's the vision that y'all, when we had our roundabout, not being just a podcast, being an active example of some Black men, not into some foolery. That we got some intelligence, and we do have our thoughts on different views. Super Mario.
I agree with Chris on, I don't stay at my hometown anymore, but I seen USA supporting the candidates, what I'm saying? I seen a big turnout. That was good to see, what I'm saying? A lot of young African American people, even with the kids, all the way down to the kids getting involved so they can get that fire burning in them young, what I'm saying? And I seen a good turnout, what I'm saying? That right there is like newsworthy stuff. Just to see that, because somebody gets shot, you see on the news everybody outside standing in the street looking to see who got shot. But right now to see I know of too, I know Tragic running too. Marvelous, like you said, Doug and Ronnie, those are people who I know, what I'm saying? Because I'm not too big into the politics, but I actually know them and their character. So to see that people out supporting them and and going for them when I know they was born and raised in the city. I know they are a product of the city. So whether you like them, good, bad, or indifferent, that even the point that they're on a platform they're eligible to run, and that they do have and they want to run is amazing to me. And I just thought that it should be more light shined on that, because so many times staying out of town, I explain to people where I'm from, and a lot of times you hear of West Palm Beach and people group Riviera Beach in with West Palm Beach, but to understand that Riviera Beach is ran by a Black city or with a Black mayor, as far as I can see it. You know what I'm saying? Like that right there is amazing right there, and it's oceanfront property. So me traveling the world, you don't see that, and that's unheard of. It's like this should be a movie. Me and Horace talked about this a long time ago, and I met some people who do documentaries. Like this should be documented. This is not normal to grow up in a place like this, and then you really don't know that until you kind of move out, and then you start telling people, and they be like, "Wow, you said what now? It's about what? With a black what? A black police chief? A black fire chief? A black what? That's crazy." And it's like, yeah, it's home to us, but I'm just happy that y'all keeping it going because most of the people we grew up under are getting older. So this new regime coming in, and it seems like y'all coming in with fire. So, I'm just excited, man. I'm excited to look from afar to see that, what I'm saying, no matter what, I still got a lot of family stay in Rivera to know that they're in good hands. So that's that's my point of view.
We look forward to Horace running again one more term. I want to apologize because I didn't support you the way I should have. I did some support, but I should have supported you a lot more when you did run. I look forward to you running again, and you will have my full support.
I appreciate you, my
coming out of
guy.
retirement 2024.
Yeah. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I would say this. Last week I went to the reason we had this as a topic last week. Every year, I don't know if y'all are familiar. Every year, I'll say people across the bridge use different candidates. And instead of us talking about politics, you'll see cartoons. Hell, you even see the media do slanted stories. Doug had an incident where he didn't even get due process because they were sharing, you had people come to the mic saying stuff to this man while his wife is there, his kids are there, just slanderous stuff just to defame somebody to get, hoping they lose votes. Same thing happened with McCoy. And I spoke out this week saying, if you sharing that type of stuff, I got no love for you. And politics should be only politics. I don't care what happened. I don't care about the last 20, 30 years. I'm not going for it. And I actually spoke at somebody at the meeting and said, what you guys are doing is equivalent to modern day lynching. You don't have to do that. So that was controversial, but listen, tell me what you're going to do. Tell me what your plans. I don't want to hear about somebody's personal life, which is untrue. But I just hate to see black people tear down black people. We can't be a part of that foolishness. And I hope that the city goes forward. I did my part in this city, but you actually got a city, man, with so much history. And to be honest, brother, I look around and I'm seeing it change every day. And we're not a part of that change. Hell, I had a guy come to my house and tell me, he looked at me, sincerely ignorant, and said, "Hey, you think your landlord want to sell?"
Mm-hmm. You should have said no. Point blank, period. That's it.
Can't tell you what it said.
But,
hey, ladies, man.
I tell you what we got to do. Oh, go ahead, Hart.
Now, I'd say, 400, 450. I'm pretty sure I could talk him into
it. Yeah, for sure. But I think what we got to do, though, as black people, is we just got to take a little bit more pride in what we do have. Because you guys are right. I think it's us, Rivera Beach, and then it's Fort Pierce, which is another predominantly black city, which is also minutes away from the beach. And it's also ran the same way our city is. But we've kind of played to the narrative of what the media has told us about our city, about it being crime ridden and just a deplorable place to stay, when it's actually the total opposite. Like me and Chris talked about earlier, people talk about the things that they actually want to emulate or be. So like Hardy said a couple of episodes back, I don't know if the haters are fans, but I'm just glad that I rub shoulders with the movers and the shakers of our city, because I like the examples that they set. Ronnie Felder, definitely somebody that I would vote for, and I'm going to vote for. I like the way he moves. He moves like me. He doesn't make a lot of noise, but he gets things done. And that's effectively what you want to do. I like the way Doug is. Me and Doug are brothers. We operate almost the same. He's going to document everything he's doing, not to show off, but to show you that it can be done. And that this is what I'm doing, and I'm having a ball at it. You can do it too. Hopefully it's to motivate you. So like you said, Horace, for them to bring up the first thing, and it's always us against us, bring up what the media tried to take to tear us apart while this man's daughter's here in front of his wife, is one of the reasons why we did have the kids out there learning this from the grassroots, because we want to show them in life people are not going to be fair to you. That's why you got to always do your best to put your best foot forward and show them in spite of them, because they're going to highlight everything that they think is going to tear you down, and you got to show them why you got to keep going. And also it gets them in tune with the process, because that's something that when we were younger, we were oblivious to. We knew nothing about the voting process, when it is. So all Saturday was to educate the masses on early voting prior to March 8th, and to give them a ride to the poll if need be, but to just come out and show them that we are doing some things, And you're right, Horace. I hate the fact that Ted White is no longer with TV 25, because we would have been able to get him out to give us some media coverage, because he loved to see Black people getting together in a positive way, especially in a city as small as Revere, but as impactful as Revere is. If you look at our demographics and even look on how the rent is trending in South Florida, Miami's a hot spot, Fort Lauderdale's a hot spot. Guess where else? West Palm Beach, and more importantly, Riviera Beach. You see what I'm saying? So, and we have to teach our kids, while it's important to hold on to the properties that our parents had, and why you don't sell to ignorant Neanderthals who ask you if your landlord would be interested in selling the property. Hell no, we don't want to sell it unless it's 3 or 4 times the price. And then at that point, we still want to think about it. But like I said, Trodrick, marvelous. We grew up with those people. I love to see those individuals taking a whack at it, to go out and give their 2 cents into building the community that we grew up in. The parks and recreation systems, the ideas that they have, that they share in the direction that they want to move forward with the city, is amazing. All of the old facilities that we've been using 30 plus years, they're trying to eradicate all those and bring brand new things that are going to pour lifeblood back into our city for our youth, because they are what we call our future. I know Whitney had a song about it, Stevie, one of them, they all got together, but it's really the truth. The children are our future. So you got to teach them, and it starts with us getting out there and doing what we do best.
Absolutely.
All right. So I felt a little passion in you on that speech there, man.
Just a little.
Now, I enjoy it. March 8th is the election. Listen, we take it for granted, man, but I'll get people that call me and say who to vote for. And I don't take that for granted. But hey, this week, man, if you got any family members in Riviera Beach, send them a message and give them a heads up. If they don't know who to vote for, hey, this is who I would support if I was running. Just send them that little quick Facebook message, tell them who you do support, even though you're not there. All right, let me ask you something, because Chris, I'm gonna come back to Black Future monologue. I need to elaborate on that, but I want to go to the good part. Russia, Ukraine. This week, everywhere you go, Russia invading the Ukraine. Me and Mario had a good conversation this week. I respected it because we went back and forth. And I like to have a discussion and share our things, but all of a sudden, all you hear now is Russia and Ukraine, and the media. I laugh. I'm like Lil Duval. The media pretty much tells you what to be mad about, who to be mad with, how to feel if you're weak-minded. But Russia and Ukraine, and people saying pray for Ukraine. How is it our Black business? Who should be the first to fight? I'm gonna get to the Black Panther tonight, Chris Leo.
Well, before we do that, shout out to Fred Hammond that reference. But before we do that, I want to give you a little history. All right, Ukraine is basically the mother of Russia. The origins of Russia started in Ukraine. Russia was once a big, huge country, which was called the Soviet Union. Because of Russia, how big they was getting, how dominant they was getting. I mean, the Soviet Union, how big they was getting, how dominant they was getting. NATO was formed. NATO is basically a club of military people saying, to fight Russia and Soviet Union growing. And once the Soviet Union was brought down, it got divided into different countries, and they all was independent. Now Putin, whose mother is actually Ukrainian and his father is Russian, he's a traditionalist. His life mission is to bring back the Soviet Union. So at a NATO meeting, he basically gave out his threats, and I think this was not while Trump was president. He basically said he wanted all troops out of Eastern Europe. He wanted no more members of of NATO to join, and he threatened that he didn't want America to use nuclear weapons to fight for these other countries. Basically, you can look at it like Putin. It was a breakup with Ukraine, and he wants them back, but Ukraine don't want to come back. And for what I say is this: I don't think this is our black business. To be honest with you, this is between them. We have seen how they treated us, how they treat us currently at the border, or the Polish border. Basically, but this is how they treat us everywhere. So I don't know if this is something that we need to have a hashtag about or pray about, because it's really, yes, our country may end up fighting, but it's not our business. This is something that's been going on a long time before us, and I think it's something that we need to do more studying on. But I don't know if this is our business. Who I think that if we do end up fighting, who I think that we should send to fight. Number one, I think we should send all those insurrectionists that went to the Capitol on June 6th. Send them. They want to fight for the country. They think they're patriots. Send them first. Second, I think we should send all the police that have shot unarmed citizens,
Innocent black man.
innocent people. They know they already trained to kill. Let them go out there and kill them. I also want to send the ignorant niggas that practice gun violence in their own community to their own people. Send their ass there and let them fight and let them shoot, since they want to shoot all of us. Lastly, I would like to send the feminists. I would like to send the women that think that they're equal to me. Let them equally fight. I like the ones that don't need a man, they can do it all for themselves. Let them grab a gun and fight too. I would like to send all of them that do not appreciate men and that don't think that men are the prize, because men are the one that's, if this thing go down, men are going to be the one that's going to protect this country, which in my eyes would make them the prize. So again, I think that we should mind our black ass business in Black History Month. And I also gave you a list of who I think they should send first. But again, this is about Putin and his reign to bring back the Soviet Union. And I don't know if this is our black business. What do you think?
Well, I will say this before I go to Harley. Listen, I'm gonna go straight up, and I might get taken somewhere for saying this. I understand Putin as a dictator. Putin is doing what he's supposed to do for his country, self-preservation, right? But this is what makes me laugh, right? Now, Ukraine is not a part of NATO, but it's surrounded by NATO. Now it wants all the benefits. My issue with this whole thing about we should be worried about Ukraine. Funny thing is the best thing about it is now y'all getting to see. Look how they're treating people of color. Like even the kids and the women, you treat them like that. No surprise here. I had a conversation with somebody earlier on Facebook. The best thing about this is we allow the media to go and make us feel like, we should be worried about Ukraine. But the funny thing is, that's the media telling you that. The same media that make us look like the worst people in the world every day. So I want y'all to wake up and recognize this, that Ukraine back in the days actually fought with the Nazis. Ukraine is known to be a white national supremacist stronghold. And Putin himself said, why are y'all giving me grief when you guys know that it is a Nazi stronghold in Ukraine? So why are people like, oh, we should black? Because the media tells you that story. But the funny thing is, sorry, I'm really concerned about my people of color, no matter where they at in the world, but I have no tears for Ukraine. So maybe I need to get checked in the head, because most of the time when I see Putin speak, I kind of always see where he's coming from, or at least understand. As this country that I am, I'm trying to make it as strong as I need it to be. No, don't get in my way. Now, this is the thing that scares me. Everybody go take some money out the bank. You should have at least $100 in your wallet, because one thing I got to give Putin credit for, they know how to hack our country. If right now he hacked us and you couldn't get no gas because the car's down, you couldn't go to the bank because the computer's down, it would be nothing but chaos. If he shut down, like the railroad just got hacked, this man controls. If he got you, that's why Biden is kind of like, I'm saying stuff, but I ain't saying too much, because we still can't figure out how they keep hacking our most intelligent defense system. So that's my FYI. Go get you some money out the bank in case you somewhere and they say, oh, the machine's down. Please do that. So I had no love for Ukraine. My blackness was not allowed. Super Mario.
Yeah, I think y'all right on point tonight. I think I don't have no care for Ukraine. But I got another little point too. I don't care for the black people they fucking over in Ukraine either. like I'm saying, like, bro, at some point, like, see, one thing for sure is I work with a lot of different people. I come in contact with a lot of different people. And all skin folk ain't kin folk. A lot of times, as Black Americans, we love to run across the water and all over the seas and then protect. When a police officer just got 2 years for shooting the little boy here because she said she thought her taser was her gun was her taser. And we worried about what's going on in Ukraine from people who have been, I didn't see them march for Trayvon. I didn't see them do none of that. I didn't see the black people in Ukraine. I didn't even know that many black people in Ukraine until they get pushed off the damn train. So right now I didn't see a big ass march in Ukraine for George, and when all the world was doing it, I didn't see it. So I'm sorry. I think the older I get, the more I get of that same thing Horace is talking about, self-preservation. Like, bro, at some point, I don't have enough to keep caring about everybody. Like, it's people right now who I know who the money we just sent to Ukraine to help that and do all that kind of stuff, they broke here. It's black people here who get killed, who get ran out. We're still fighting the same injustice that our great granddaddies was fighting. So I'm sorry, but I can't afford to care about what's going on in Ukraine. Even if I wanted to, I just can't. Because at this point where we're at right now, we haven't made a step towards freedom. Like, we got a law that said lynching, you only get 30 years. You get caught with 36 ounces of cocaine, I can give you 3 life sentences. I can't. I'm sorry. Ukraine, you're on your own. Russia, you're on your own. And anybody else who don't have a U.S. passport or U.S. citizenship, I'm sorry. Get somebody else to vote for you or help you or root with you or feel sorry because I'm sorry. I got to use all I can for
fresh out.
Yeah.
I want to know how we don't know that they do not like black people over there. I had a conversation with someone on Facebook today. I'm like, bro, please.
That's easy. All right, because they didn't tell them that yet. You know how that goes. Yeah, they did that.
Everywhere. Like everywhere, black people move, then they get. We don't know miraculously that we don't know these people like us, and then they get. Because, dog, the same way you said you on things, the same way you said you feel Putin on that, you got to feel Ukraine. If Chris, Zay, and Horace is trying to, and they family are trying to get on the train, and some other people are trying to get on the train, who the hell you think I'm gonna let on the train?
Yeah.
So I can't blame Ukraine people for people who came into their country trying to get up out of their country before the people who live in their country. I can't blame them for that. You went over there. Shit, stay your ass over there. Go ahead, Zay.
Get your ass on that don't stop letting them stop you from getting on that motherfucking train.
Well, let me ask you something. Why we ain't got no hearsay? What Biden said he was gonna raise student loan debt. Biden said he was gonna everything he said he's gonna do ain't did none of that, but he could hop up and say I'm sending money to Ukraine
and send it. He sent that bitch like a cash out.
He said he didn't have money for reparations, but he sent that money. And he also told us we weren't going to war again. He said Trump was going to take us, but his ass took us or taking us. That shit crazy. Anyway,
we don't want no
as it pertains to the Ukraine and it pertains to Russia, it's a saying that says, "Every man for himself and God for us all." Why I say that? Because my prayers are with the people in Ukraine. I am not. I'm not over there. Putin ain't fucking with me. I'm just gonna be honest. I've seen how they treated the black people, but that's no different. Like Hardy said, they treat us like that everywhere we go. I'm sorry, Fresh Out. I don't have it for them. So, like you said, we got our own problems here, and it's no different what they're doing in Ukraine, as you just heard Hardy explain. What's the difference in that and what Trump was saying about America? Like, no, don't bring them here. That's how they feel about us there. We need to worry about our damn selves. That was taken out of context. They felt how they felt, but I felt him. Shit, I'm American. I need these American benefits. I need this American money that they're sending elsewhere. Every time. I hate it. I hate social media anytime something happens. Something happened in Paris. You got dumbasses with Paris flags over their pictures because they hearts are with Paris. And they heart not with your ass when people getting killed right here. All they say is that's sad. A black man gets killed at the hands of a white person. That's sad. Black man gets pushed off a train in Ukraine. That's sad. But that's fucked up what Russia's doing to them. No, it's not. I'm with Whoopi. It's white on white violence. Like y'all say, black on black, it's white on white violence. It ain't got nothing to do with us, Chris. Our black ass business need to be trying to get together like we was doing this weekend, but on a grander scale, and try to make some footsteps for our people that look like us, and look at them other people and tell them that's crazy for once in our life, instead of getting emotionally involved with white people foolishness. That's Europeans. We're not even European. Y'all don't even get this touched about the stuff that happened in Africa. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm not the one to ask about that, but it don't matter to me. As long as they don't shoot a missile this way, I think we all right.
Yeah, I think what we if we're going to worry about anything, I think that we should worry about the strengthening of Putin and his army and his people, because that could potentially be harmful for us. It's hard to be the top dog for a long time, especially without enforcing your dominance and your power. So I think that's one thing that we may have to look out for, the strength of Putin. And I don't take his threat lightly, and I don't know what his threat means. He said, if we do intervene, we will see consequences like we've never seen in history. I don't absolutely know what that means. I don't know if that's going to be physical, because that could be chemical. It could be a virus gets set off. It could be cyber, like you said about the hacking. So I don't take that threat lightly. I think that I'm for us showing our dominance, and if it stops them from being the Soviet Union like once before, then yeah, I'm for that. I just don't believe that it's our black business. That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying,
why do we have to show our dominance again, though, Chris? Did you ever try to figure that out?
Because with men like Putin, you can't tell him he being toxic, he's being toxic or masculinity. You can't tell him he need to heal in childhood trauma. You got to face fire with him.
I will say,
but the crazy part about it is this, though. Ukraine would have probably been able to defend themselves had America not disarmed them. Like we always do, we go over and we try to play big brother with everybody and input our democracy into their land, but we strip them of their resources or their power, which
we just shipped them a
Ukraine was what, the third most powerful nuclear plant? I mean, nuclear country.
Can I say this? Go ahead. You have to look at it from, listen, the world ain't nothing but a monopoly board for the rich people to play with, right? So you look at, and this, I want you, once you learn about Putin, I'm not saying I'm a communist, but as a leader, no, America's not going to punk me into demanding me. Like, you're not going to handle him like y'all handle all these other countries. He is that man. Like, when it came to GMOs and food, he was like, F you, America. He's not been like, he may be, that dream of having a Soviet Union may not ever happen. But as far as him being a leader of his country and his people, he not going for it. And especially with the resources and stuff, me having to come and join this group, and I got to come to y'all for this, and I need your permission for that. everybody, we all got that one homeboy that's like, I'm straight. Me and my house, all I care about is me and my house. No, I'm not gonna put my money in with y'all. No, I'm not asking y'all. I'm straight. So once you understand what his real riffs are, I kind of understand. I don't got to agree with him. I understand that America seems to go around the world and tell everybody what to do, and then the hypocrisy is you don't do the same shit. Because he just called out America for something. He was talking about people of color. Like when it come down to it, you will be amazed at how he stood on issues against American policy. But I would say this: North Korea has a army, like ground troops. That would be horrific. So Putin doesn't have that same type of army. He has skilled soldiers, but he doesn't have that vast number of military. But his cyber attack in this era, shit, that's more dangerous than anything right now. Because if you can't communicate, what can you do? I can't transfer money. What can I do? Hey, it's chaos in America. What I'm gonna do? Hell, all this spy software you need the internet and all that to do it. So you really can be totally shut down from a cyber attack. Mario.
But 100%.
I was going to say that that's the agenda of America. America got to understand that we lack resources. Yeah. So that right now it's the whole that I come in, I save you, and now you indebted into me. So then I take everything that you can possibly build your country back up for you don't have to need me. So that one day you'll have to need me, and the same stuff I took from you, I'm gonna sell it back to you at the high, and then I'm gonna always be there to protect you. That's what America do. So understanding, but that's what America do to us too. Like I'm saying, that's the blueprint of greed when you're in a capitalistic society. See, capitalism work when there's no greed at the top. It's greed at the top right now, so it spans out. That's a plan that has not worked in years. Like they say, if it's working, don't break it. If the plan working, don't fix it. That's how it is with America. It's been working. So why would that not? Another thing is, I agree with Horace. See, Putin is not, he don't play the game. So that's one of them, enemy of my enemy is my friends. So I know Chris is saying, well, we kind of, we got to listen to Putin for what he's saying because he ain't playing. But see, everybody else know that too. So they like, America argue at China, then China argue at America, and then he'll come back to the table. America argue at this person, then come back to the table. America argue, but Putin is not coming to no table. But everybody else see that too. So they like, yeah, we fight each other, but this nigga's gonna shoot us. So all of them gonna come together and say, we gotta get him out. That's why you seen China jump right on board, sanctioning this part, sanctioning. So it's Putin against everybody because they know if he get back to the top, it's no stopping him. So it's almost like, that same bravado, that same, I'm a big dog. Everybody see you a big dog. So cool, we're gonna make sure that you never live to be a grown dog because you're a strong puppy right now. So that's why I think my fear level is not as high, just because I feel like the world don't want to see Putin at the top. It's not just America. The entire world don't want to see him at the top. And when you think about Ukraine and that the eastern side of Ukraine is fighting with Russia. Like, let's get that straight. People,
the Western,
they still are Russian allies. So it's the western side. Don't get me wrong. The western side is 80%, and the 20% is the eastern side. But I'm just saying, like Tootie said, they brothers. That's like two brothers fighting. Like them people are mixed in. Like, your grandma might be Ukrainian, and your fucking granddaddy is Russian. Like all throughout that. So it's like when you stick your nose over there, right? America just see money. They just see that if we help Ukraine, we can take all they rich with resources. We can take them for the low. And like he said, when me and Horace talked, he made a good point. If that happens, and if Ukraine joins NATO, it puts Russia at a bad position. A bad position where now the same mangoes, corn, and all that they used to get for cents on the dollar, America comes in and say, oh, no, you got to pay this tax too, and this tax, and this tax. So I've been eating mangoes for $1. They right here. Oh, no, now they $6. And that's just it. And that's worth fighting for. So, like you said, though, Chris, that don't have nothing to do with us because no matter who's at the top, Black America's at the bottom. So I don't give a damn who. Who we?
Yeah. Which brings me to my last topic. In Black History Month. I don't have a problem with Black History Month, but I think it's time for us to start talking about Black future because that's what's important now. I think that, and I want to speak directly to the black men. Black men, I think it's time for us to reclaim our kingship. I think it's time for us to reclaim our head of the household. But that starts with us being better. We are of the blood of Nat Turner, Medgar Evers. We are of the blood of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and all those names like that. We are of those people. We are of those slaves that didn't make it on that jumped off the ship because they didn't want to be slaves. We are of the slaves that survived the treacherous 400 years. We are built from that. We are from that. So we need to take. It's time for us to reclaim that. We got to teach our young men that you can do more than bounce basketballs and rap. We got to get our young men in STEM research and math and make them engineers. Be a part of the law system. Exactly like what Horace and Zay is being a part of. Be a part of making laws in your city. We have to build the future today. So instead of and there's nothing wrong with focusing on Black history, but as we focus on Black history, let's focus on Black presence, and most importantly, let's focus on Black future because that's where our pot of gold is in the future. We can't do nothing about what happened in the past. We can learn from the past. We can understand that we are from those people, but let's start today by celebrating Black future. Let's start today by building that Black future brick by brick. And that's what I wanted to say about Black future. I wanted us to all just have something encouraging to say about our Black future. That's what I got.
All right. Well, before I go to Mario, I will say this: the Black future is now that we see that. Look where we all came from. Look at every one of us, bro. I never pictured us being here. I never pictured. Yeah, I did. I did picture us doing this, right? But once you actually, man, start putting that formula together and seeing that if I put the work towards it and I believe in it and I can achieve it, man, I believe we can do whatever we want, bro. So there were some dark days as jits, man. But one thing we did, we always had each other. And look at us now. So I'm saying, man, we're more powerful than we can ever imagine. So whatever you want to do, man, I believe next 10 years, man, we can sit back and look at this moment and say, man, look what we did because we believed and actually stayed disciplined to the blueprint. Ladies, man.
Man, I like everything that you guys are saying as far as what we're doing moving forward. We talk about this all the time. As we just alluded to with just Saturday, and Saturday is just fresh on my mind, so I'll just use that. My daughter and Doug's daughter are very good friends. Every time she's in town, they make it their business to make sure that they link up. And to see those two young ladies just excited about getting out and canvassing. Yes, they were going to get a chance to spend time with each other, but they were going to get a chance to get out and actually learn politics from a very young age. By the time they get to our age, where most of us are kind of reliant on information from our good friend Horace, they'll have a good idea of what to look forward to. Why do I like that? Because as fathers, what are we doing? We are setting the precedents for them, rightfully so, like we should be doing. We are the fathers, we are the protectors, we are the teachers or the guidance counselors, for lack of better words, of our futures, which is our kids. So I just think that as Black men, if we can get in there and just try and teach, but we got to learn what it is that we want to pour into the younger generation so that they can build that Black future that you're talking about, Chris. I think that's what we're trying to do with our programming platform. Educate individuals. It may be tax jokes, but the seriousness behind it of what we're saying. It could be jokes about Joe Biden, but the seriousness in it and what we're saying as far as us as Black people getting together, getting behind who we know is gonna shoot after what our goals or what our aspirations are, what we want to see done for our people. We need to get that ball rolling so that our black futures can be solidified, man, and we just be good. But again, like I said, we're still in the beginning stage. You got to actually want to do this type of stuff, and that work is not easy. So that's what I got for the black futures. What you got?
I think the black future. I think we need to take a. I know we're going forward, but I think in order to build, you always got to start with the foundation. And I think one thing about a black man is the black man from Chris when he spoke about when they jumped off the ships or Indians, just you know what I'm saying, fighting the cowboys or whatever, or Nat Turner or Sojourner Truth. In every story or instance of a black man, when you're talking about rise to power, it begins with sacrifice. See, I think right nowadays that in this Instagram, this microwave world, this I'm a boss, I'm bigger than you, I'm richer than you, we lose focus and then we fall into the propaganda of that you can make it in a capitalistic society without sacrifice. That's not true. Because the only way you can make it that way is with nepotism. And we don't have the resources for that to fall on us. So I sit here and I tell people this all the time, all the time, all the time. You have people say, damn, bro, you're doing good. You're doing good. You're doing good. And the first thing I'm going to say is, bro, I sacrifice a lot. But then, because I'm not doing nothing that nobody else can do. Chris is not doing nothing nobody else can't do. Zay is not doing nothing nobody else can't do. Horace is not doing nothing nobody else can do, but it starts with sacrifice. I think right time we start saying, how do we build a future? We got to begin as men saying 40 is not the new 20.
It's not.
40 is 40. You almost done. Stop living for yourself and actually live to make a future. Period. Absolutely. It's okay to enjoy the fruits of the land. It's okay to do all that stuff. But you have to say, bro, this is not about me no more. This is about the future. You have to say that. The minute you start thinking like that, you don't have to scream it to the mountaintops. You'll see it because it has to happen. Right now, if you live like you 20 all the way up until you 70, when you're 70, you're going to have nothing to give to your 20-year-old, to your 30-year-old. And it's just a redundance of that. And right now you see that everybody had a grandma house to go to when we was young. Now, grandmas don't have no house. Because pretty soon, we're going to be the grandmas and the granddaddies. And a lot of us didn't have what grandma and granddaddy got. So then what? So then what? And it's like, we want to keep going forth and everybody want to keep doing this. But, bro, we don't have nothing. And as I sit around and look at stuff, it's like, bro, we really don't have nothing. And it's like, it sound good in theory. It sound great. Everybody say good shit. But I'm saying, I want to really see people saying, you know what, bro? I'm going to take 2-3 years off because I have to be able to do something. You have to do that, bro. Because it works. Trust me, it works. It works. But if we want to talk about the future, we can tell them till they blue in the face. But you got to show them. And by showing them, you got to see. They got to wake up and see that you are setting the groundwork. Bro, I'm telling you, that has to happen. My grandma didn't have a house, I don't know where I'd be. If my granddad didn't have a house, I don't know where I'd be. But what happened when you the grandma and the granddaddy and you don't have it? I'm telling you, man, our future, man, you know, I guess maybe I'm looking at my mortality. And the older I get right now, the most serious I get about that because I see that, like, bro, I ain't young. And as I see my kids growing up, it's like another step of hunger that came over me to be like, bro, I care. Like, I want to be when y'all kids graduate. I want to be able to say, shit.
There go Tim Van.
Here goes something to get you on your way. I don't want to say, hey, man, Uncle Mario said, good job. No, I want to say, bro, I've been on this earth probably when y'all kids graduate 40-some, 30-some years, some kind of way making money. I ain't got a stack to give to you. I ain't got $500 to help you with the future. And they gonna want to hear that shit you talking about, dude. Because you wasted your whole life, so why should I listen to you? Like, and that's just how I feel about it. I know a lot of people don't believe the way I believe, but I feel like Kylie, Zaya, you know what I'm saying? on Tyler, I'm like, even when I was talking to all them, I'm like, bro, I want to be able to give something. Tootie had his kids early. So I was growing up in that method, still trying to find myself. You know what I'm saying? So I had more knowledge to give them than money. But come to find, my other homeboys, kids, if they grow up, bro, I want to be able to say shit. Hey, here you go, man. Now you take this, and I want you to not have to worry about selling drugs. Don't have to worry about stripping. Don't have to worry about working at Publix 10 hours extra. Just go to school or go be a artist or a painter or whatever you want to be and focus. Because I will take this $500 and not buy these shoes and not buy these and not do this because I need to see you. Now I want to. I need to see you make it. And I think if we start thinking like that, bro, we got it.
Mm-hmm. But I think we do that though, Harden. If you look at the dynamics inside of us or in the individuals that we know, we do those said things. We pour into each other. We take the time to make sure that they don't make the same goofy mistakes that we made. We take the time to talk to them. We take the time to help provide for them, whether their father's able to do so now or not. Because even it's been instances where we got friends that are, here, but they messing up, for lack of better words. And we put them to the side and say, hey, man, listen, I'm not going to tell you anything bad about your father, but I am going to tell you this. You need to do X, Y, and Z. And I'm going to check on you. The next time I talk to you, I want to hear you tell me what you've gotten accomplished. You understand what I'm saying? And we kind of hold them accountable. I feel like we're a little angry that we didn't have as much of this, what we're doing growing up. So we make sure that we go over and beyond for the ones that we care about that's underneath us. I don't care if it's people, I
don't want to tell you to get a job. I want to give you a job. See, I don't want to tell you. I don't want to tell you to save your money. I want to take you down there, open a bank account for you, and put $100 in there and show you how to balance your checkbook. See, you're right. I do a lot of. That's what I'm saying. Like at some point, this is just me in my life. I'm tired of saying, like, yeah, you should do this. Bro, why don't I show you how to do this? And then I know as a kid, if somebody came to me and said, hey, Mario, stop doing that, I'm going to say, all right, because I respect them. I'm going to say, okay.
Yeah, but then what I'm going to do?
Like, I'm going to say, okay, but you didn't give me a job, bro. So you saying stop doing this, but you didn't change my life. You didn't put me on another trajectory. All you did is speak. Okay, you speak life into me. You gave me another way of thinking. But I'm dealing with right now in reality that poo-poo got eaten. That my mama is single mama. So right now, I'm saying it's a difference when you say, hey, it might not have to be much. But like Chris did, you know what I'm saying? Like we are doing it. And I'm not saying that we're not doing it. I'm just saying, for me, I want to be able to say that I think if more, I'm just saying the black men, when Chris said we're talking to black men, we need to be more impactful. Like you're right. Doug do give jobs. Like y'all do give jobs. Okay, but that's just y'all. I'm not gonna say we doing it. No, we're not doing it as a whole. That might be 1%.
That's what,
need to be 40%, 50% of that. Because if 40% of that happen, now crime go down.
Change is happening. Yeah.
You don't have to have a gun no more. You buying Louis Vuitton don't seem so cool no more because you understand what property means. That's when you start affecting change. Because when they see their homeboy with a Louis and all that stuff, but then when he look at his bank account and see I got $2,200, and I know that my Uncle Zay, Horace and Chris and Mario told me shit with $10,000 on a $70,000 house, I'm right there.
That's right.
But that's what I'm saying. But when you don't look at that, you look like if I can get 10,000, I can go buy this dome. That's what I'm saying. But it just got to be shown because people showed me how to buy a dome. People showed me how to get rings. People showed me how to get fresh. They didn't tell me that. They showed me. We went to the stores. Mm-hmm. They pointed this out. They pointed that paint man out. They showed me. They didn't just tell me. They walked me through it. And I'm saying we need to set the time and walk them through real life and stop just telling these kids because, bro, it's hard and it's so many distractions. Because we didn't have that many. You turn on, kids in ninth grade got $10,000 outfits on.
Yeah.
They take an 8th grade prom, they going to prom and fucking Lamborghini. Mm-hmm. Like, bro, at some point we gotta say, all right, I'm gonna show you. And if it mean by showing you, that mean I get a little less. Okay, well shit, I done had a lot. I done been to a lot of clubs. I done had a lot of clothes. I done did a lot of stuff. So me wearing this for a couple more summers won't hurt me for you to shine, little brother. That's what I'm saying about the future.
Absolutely. Shout out to Jason Young with Black
Guns
Mountain.
and butter.
Check that out. But yeah, that goes back to what I was saying, man. I think that black men, as black men, we need to be better fathers. We need to be better uncles. We need to be better brothers. We need to love our women a lot more. You know what I'm saying? We have to take it upon ourselves. We got to take this growth and this future on hands first. Like we can't look for nobody else to do this. Can't look for no white man to do it. We can't even look for our sisters to do it. We have to take this on and say we gonna make a better future. We're gonna get better, and we're gonna create the children to get better and other boys to get better. I just believe that this has to happen from us, and it has to start from us. And I look forward to being one small speck in the change. That's my opinion.
So it
might have been one of the most impactful shows that we've had because all of y'all talk from. Listen, ain't too many shows where you got black men talking about intelligent conversations. They talking about a whole lot of stuff, but they're not talking about economics. They're not talking about world news. They're not even talking about self-preservation, which I thought needed to be talked about today. You know what I mean? One time for Jason Young. Yeah, for Lou. We didn't have no romance stuff tonight.
No kitty cat.
No kitty cat, right? And besides, after that comment, Lou Pierre is suspended. Lou Pierre started to do
her show.
Huh?
You put now one of us on her show.
That's why she's suspended, Chris. Thank you. Right. Ain't no support. Ain't no support. You can't come over here, bro. Taking off. We ain't been out there long. None of us been on
trying
the
to
show.
stir up that ruckus.
Bruh.
Hey, you know what? I love Valou's deal. I wanted to tell her last week when we was talking and she stirred up that ruckus to stay focused. But I see she came back to do it again this week. And we love you too, but we gonna chastise your ass right now. Listen, yeah, you better believe it. You quick to say gentleman lead. Don't get your ass in the way talking about what a man need to do. Let him lead. And damn it, follow. And if that ain't the type of leadership you want, then don't go over there. That's another one coming. Gucci Man told you that. Next 15 minutes, there's another man coming around. You find you one, but you find you one that you can be submissive to and help him build what we talking about. Because a lot of that stuff that Mario said is very, very true. A lot of people have talked to us about how to do this and how to do that, but they ain't showed us a damn thing. So it's really, really easy to talk it and then not show it, don't know how to do it. So then that conversation ends right there. But women, you got to understand something. When you take those attacks at men, there's little women that's watching you, little girls that watching you, they're going to grow up and do the same thing. Men, just like Chris, having us be accountable for what we doing and saying, we got to be mindful when we talk to a woman a certain way. There's a little boy looking up saying, my daddy did that. And going to try to mimic and do that same exact thing. So why shouldn't my daddy show him how to build a house, how to procure a house, how to any of that? Like you said, make a job so that you can make sure that a friend of yours doesn't go out and rob. Hey, man, you ain't got to do that stupid stuff. You can come over here and work with me and I'm going to pay you. Because that's the reason why you're doing the ignorant stuff anyway. And the craziest part about it, if women really want to get involved, I always say that money and women run the world. What do I mean by that? Everything that us men do is for y'all women. So y'all want us to stop killing, stop dating the killers. Hey, I mean, it is what it is. You feel me? So, I mean, the blame shouldn't be getting shifted either way. We should just actually look at it, figure out what piece of the puzzle that we can jump in and actively participate and just do that. Nobody trying to tell each other what to do inside of their job unless you're trying to help them. And I'm not talking about talking down to a person, actually talking to them and showing them how to do better. And a lot of times how you do that is by first doing it, because that's what leaders do, and then they'll follow suit. But that's just my piece. I still love you, Valus, but I got to tell you, can't come on here and assassinate us, and you need to invite us on your little shindig, because we ready to come over there and talk to them women too.
All right. Well, effective as we close out this show, effective immediately, Valou Pierre will serve a 30-day suspension. No comments will be published. We will not acknowledge Valou Pierre for insurrections against the black species of male dominance. All right, closing comments. I'm going to Black Panther, Chris Leo.
Man, this is what it's actually one of my favorite shows, man. I like having these conversations too. You know, I love the dynamic, the relationship dynamic, because that's where it starts at for us. That's how we're gonna gain power. So I don't mind having those conversations. But these conversations are important also, and I appreciate it. It wouldn't be no other three people I would rather have these conversations with, and I appreciate you guys giving me this opportunity and this platform to have these conversations out loud with people. And man, I thank you guys for joining us. Shout out to Jason. Shout out to John. I seen him at the beginning. You know who else? What other men was out there? But you know, and the ladies too. But whatever. And so yeah, but Black History Month, Black Future Forever. Thank you.
All right. Next, I'm going to the ladies, man. The closing comments, Jose.
Don't worry about it. That's what I intend to do. Share, comment. I tell you that all the time. You know, y'all like what we saying? Let us put this good serum in one of your ladies' ears so that they can follow suit. Maybe we can help them. I don't know, but we appreciate you. You come every Monday. You listen to us. So it got to be working some way, shape, form, or fashion. And I just want to tell you for the ladies, man, that I love and appreciate y'all. What you got for them, Hardy?
I got something for you, Zay. Mia, he didn't even do his homework tonight.
Weirdo. Yeah.
Yes, I did. I worked. It's Black
Hardy.
History, and I showed up the last
I'm
day.
sorry to interrupt you. You are the Black History, huh?
You better know it.
Hey, I just want to echo what Chris said. Yeah, you know, these kind of conversations are needed because we have them all the time. And I know that sounds cliche, but we really do. Like, these are the conversations that when we get together, when we not together, when we on the phone and passing, like, you know what I'm saying? Even with so many other people, this is a real conversation that y'all just got pulled into because it's always iron sharpening iron. And you know what I'm saying? With this crew of men. And I think that if this format was to spread, like Zay said, yo, we do it. You know what I'm saying? And I want it to be contagious so it can be like they do it, and then they do it, and then they do it, and then they do it. And then next thing you know, it's a conference of men that'll fill up stadiums of men who do it. And I'm so excited. Like you said, I'm so excited about the future because I am seeing the uproar of a little pockets of groups of men who are getting it together, who are really doing it. You know what I'm saying? Every time I come home, I get more excited. Not to say last comments, I get so excited. I was at the cigar bar, a place I frequent, thanks to Horace. And when you look at the demographic in there, you be like, man, you got men from 20 to about 60 having relationships, like intertwining, like talking business of all walks of life, like just growing. You know what I'm saying? And every time I come home, I meet somebody else impactful, and I learn something a little more, and I get into another situation, and I meet another connection because as we were little, we was taught to stay away from them. We don't fuck with them. We don't know them. But as I begin to get into the business world, I got to say, bro, without networking, without people, you're gonna go nowhere. So I'm excited, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm very excited, man. And then I thank y'all for tuning in. And just understand next Monday it's gonna get getting better and better and better and better. And don't forget, if you're in the Riviera Beach and you don't know who to vote for, you have no idea. Don't go down there and just maul XY, Mars the spot 123. You got two brothers right here who stay in your city, who you can contact, and they will lead you in the right direction or put you on the phone with the right person. So we want to keep Rivera going forward. Go ahead, dude.
Hey, man. Hey, listen, thank you for tuning in for another week. Two shows I want to have. I do want to start bringing on other people because, hell, despite the stereotypes, these brothers on this cast is sharp. And we never touched the Joe Rogan thing. I want to have a good conversation about the N word because I think that needs to be done. And then I want us to do more shows again. We keep saying we're going to do it. I want to talk to like a Dr. Joe Taylor, chiropractor in West Palm Beach, and his wife is a chiropractor. I want to talk to some of the pastors that we know, some of our brothers who we know, real brothers, who are now leading congregations. Jamie and Lovett, Artist Newbie.
Artist Newbie.
Real right. Like, I really want more of those conversations, man, because we do have a lot to say. You know what I mean? That's the big thing. We do have something to say. Right. And so hopefully we can set it up and get those guys on here, man. So thank y'all for joining us for another week. Mia, I'm going to pray for you because you definitely need our help. Yes, Chris Leo.
Big shout. I want to give a big shout out. Hold on. Is it this way? This way. To this guy right here for closing on his investment property. My brother. There we go, my brother. Keep leading the way. Keep leading the way. We will follow. You trust me on that.
Bruh, you know what's real love? When I say, I said, well, congratulations, boy. I said, you done lit a fire in me. And that's what listen, bro, I'm so happy for him, man. Yeah. That wealth is a mug. Yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
To the hardest, because I know she listens to Mario and Lisa Hardy.
Yeah.
Don't worry. She'll assault your inbox later.
We budgeted with sense to make sure
I like
we
what
had
you did
the
with
right
that.
yeah.
I like what you did with that.
All right. Well, hey, catch us next week, man. Give us some topics. We're ready to go to battle. Peace out.